All right, so look, what I'm gonna try and do is, because I know you guys are pretty switched on with it, but I'm really excited about this presentation because I did a presentation ages ago with and Adam jumped on, and I had a couple of people on it, and they it was received really well. One thing I notice a lot is people just asking the same question: what are NFTs? What makes them valuable? Like, I just don't get it. You guys might get the same thing, like when you're trying to talk about it. But I've kind of learnt to really step away from trying to explain NFTs for what they kind of are technically. So I'm going to share my screen here and not show you my Facebook. There we go. Can everyone see that okay?
Yep.
Sweet. So there's the game, but I'm not going to reveal that just yet. Sweet. That all good for everyone?
Yep.
Swag.
Yep.
Swag. All right. So look, it's a dramatic title, but I stand by it. I stand by my beliefs around this space. It comes from following big people in the space, seeing what they're doing, seeing what people are getting up to. I'm seeing so much innovation in this space. There's Jordan, you're trying to get in again. No? We got two. Is that your sister? You're on mute, bro.
Oh, yeah, no, that's me, because I started off in the car, so I'm crossing it up.
Oh, true. All right, I'll count it as 5 people we got here. Yeah, so look, starting to see so much innovation. I still think we're years away from these being adopted in the way that they're meant to, because while people are still realizing the potential of them, once people make that realization, you've then got to build these things. So even though you've got projects that are doing some incredible things already, and I refer to VFriends constantly because I love what Gary V's doing, he's playing a lifetime roadmap. He's playing a lifetime game of building out the brand that is going to be VFriends, and that's going to give these NFTs utility and value and this and that. So it's stuff that I'll dive into along the way, and I've got a section for Q&A. So this is essentially what we're going to cover. We're going to look. I've spoken to you guys about what NFTs are. There's a boring version, which I kind of spoke about before. We're then going to play a little game. We're going to be looking at the problem and the opportunity in NFTs, and look, the best way to start investing. We'll skim over that. I'll touch on the platform which you guys are in. Reese, if you want to know more, happy to share that, and then we'll just do a Q&A, so we can just fire off. If there's anything that doesn't make sense, we can spend a bit of time on that for you guys, and just rattle off anything that's at the top of your mind afterwards. So let's get into it. So essentially, what are they? The boring version, non-fungible token. I'm pretty sure you guys are pretty good with what they are fundamentally from a technical perspective. Look, I'm not a developer. I'm not a Web3 nerd. I'm not a computer. But you know what? Reese will probably be able to tell more about NFTs from a technical perspective than I can. But essentially, non-fungible token, you take $1, you take another $1, you can equally exchange the two. An NFT simply means that you cannot equally exchange one NFT for another. You can, there's nothing to say that you can't, but they don't share equal value. You can't agree that they don't share equal value. So if I had a sandwich and you had a tissue box, and I needed tissues and you needed a sandwich, well, we could make that trade. They're completely different items, but we can kind of agree to trade them. But it doesn't change the fact that they are completely unique, and they always will be. They can't be replicated, and they have a contract attached, which the contract, amongst a lot of other things, is a verification of ownership. So when you buy a house, you sign a deed to a house, you sign a contract, that gives you ownership of that house. It's in writing, piece of paper. This is a digital version of that, a digital contract. Now, a massive thing, to go on a slight tangent, a huge thing that we will see, not so much in NFTs, but in the crypto world, because what a lot of cryptocurrencies are doing is they're creating decentralized finance. That's what a lot of cryptos are. They're a decentralized finance. And what they're doing is creating smart contracts. So they're creating smart contracts for all different industries, to be able to essentially take paper to digital on the blockchain. So again, don't want to overwhelm you, but you've got the blockchain, which is completely untamperable with. Don't know if that's a word, but basically you can't F with the blockchain. Once it's on the blockchain, it's there forever. It's ingrained into the blockchain, and everyone can see all of that information publicly. So right now, if you went into your bank statement on your phone and you looked at all your transactions, there's nothing to say that the bank can't actually wipe that transaction. They actually have the ability to clear that transaction if they want to, because they own it. It's centralized. They can do whatever the hell they want. Whereas on the blockchain, because it's recorded in multiple areas, so if I make a transaction from me to you, it gets recorded at my end, and it also gets recorded at your end. So there's multiple layers to it, and like I said, you can't F with the blockchain. It's there forever. So with an NFT having a digital contract attached, if it's in my name, if it's in my wallet address, I have verified ownership, and no one can take that away from me. I own it. I'm the only one that can sell it. I'm the only one who can get the royalties from it. I'm the only one who can use it for whatever it's meant to be used for until I transfer it or sell it to someone else. So what I really want to do though is I want to stop people from trying to understand all of that, because I don't even think I can explain that in the best way possible, because I don't fully even understand it myself. But what you will see is I understand NFTs from a very, very different perspective, that hopefully will help you guys understand them even clearer as well. So we want to stop trying to understand them from a technical level. It's like trying to make sense of water, of why water is important from a technical perspective as well. And I had some slides in here before, but I ended up removing them. And it was kind of the process of how water is made. And I can't remember what it was called, but it went completely over my head, and I knew it was going to go over everyone else's head. And that was the point, is because we don't try and understand water for its science. We want water because it keeps us healthy, it heals our bodies, we need it. There's so many benefits in our life for water, but it doesn't mean we have to understand the whole science behind it. It's the same with NFTs. It's more of an emotional game, which we'll dive into. So here we have one of the greatest brands of all time, and I'm sure you guys all know this brand, Pokemon. So according to Google, $100 billion Pokemon is made through a fictional game. Pokemon Go, I don't know if you guys jumped on that bandwagon. I definitely did for a short time. Essentially a phone app that used augmented reality, where you could basically travel around, and wherever you were there, you had to go and find Pokemon. So it might have been Sydney Harbour Bridge, there was a Pikachu. So you had to go to Sydney Harbour Bridge. You actually had to go there yourself to be able to go and catch that Pikachu. So fascinating concept, revolutionary. It was a huge success. I don't think it cost money, so I'm interested to know how they made money on it. I haven't looked into it. But regardless, absolutely incredible. And they've continued to innovate. They've done really well, and I'm waiting for their NFT collection to come out. But if you look here, I mean, $500,000 price tag for a piece of cardboard. Like, if people ask you why NFTs are valuable because they're digital, you should probably ask them why a Charizard is worth $500,000 when it's a piece of cardboard, right? So I actually have this Bear in the Big Blue House toy because when I was 5 years old, this is how nostalgic, this is how important Pokemon is in my life, and there's a point to all this. When I was 5 years old, I remember it was my birthday. I went out for, I think we got Chinese for dinner, got home, it was late at night, I was tired, and I got my present. And it was a Game Boy Color. And I had Pokemon Blue that came with it. I also got a Bear in the Big Blue House toy. So that there, for me, is there's a lot of emotion attached to that. There's a lot of nostalgia, there's a lot of history in that. And I think that's why Pokemon is so valuable. Because it's been around forever. It's been around for a very long time. And I can guarantee that all of us here, one, we know Pokemon, but two, you probably had a connection to the game as well to some degree. So it's a great example to use because at the end of the day, you've got these games, these fictional games that don't reward you anything other than a lot of dopamine from battling all the gyms and stuff. But like this is a brand that's been built that has made an extraordinary amount of money. So now we're gonna play a little game, and you guys can yell it out, or you can just use the chat box if you want. But we're gonna guess the brand. So I'm gonna show you some symbols, and you're basically just gonna let me know what it is. I'm gonna start out pretty easy. So you can turn your mic on. Yep.
Nike.
Brilliant. 1 point to Vicky.
And you
Compare it to
one.
Adidas. Brilliant. Trickier one.
Star Wars.
Not so tricky. Brilliant.
Simpsons.
Simpsons. Brilliant. There's an NFT in it for you if you win. Kidding.
How was it?
Amazon. There you go. I think that's the last one. No, there's one more. This one might be tricky. You know, you're not looking for a logo or a character here. You're looking for a theme.
And then
Say what you think. Pardon?
Game of Thrones.
No, but I could see that.
I have no idea.
can we get a clue?
So it's a fairly how do I say it? It's the name I'm thinking of is pretty literal, if that's a term, for the picture.
Frozen.
Brilliant. Frozen.
I said it.
Disney, right? So not as obvious, but I'm pretty sure that picture is the background of the movie art, the poster or whatever it is for Frozen. Right, so we got there eventually. So my question to you guys is, if you could go back in time with everything you know now, would you buy 100 Pokemon card packs? Would you buy the first pair of Nike sneakers that were ever created?
Yep.
Would you buy shares in Facebook, Amazon, Google, or Tesla?
Absolutely.
Yep.
No brainers, right? So seeing what these brands have done over time and seeing their rise and seeing the stock price rise, the brand being built, people are literally paying, I think, up to $30,000, maybe even $50,000 now for one booster pack of Pokemon cards, which I think gives you like a certain amount of packs or something, and you're guaranteed certain holographics and blah, 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 blah. And watching people unpack these, literally shaking, and unbox a card, pull a card out that's worth $200,000, and they literally just have to put it in a sleeve really quickly and not get any sweat on it, not make any marks, not do anything, because these are so incredibly valuable. Pokemon have built a brand that has led to this, has led to what it is. And whether they do go down the NFT path, I think they'd be silly not to, because they are still making games. They are still definitely trying to innovate. But when that comes out, you'll definitely want to keep your eyes on that. So people often ask why NFT is valuable. And they're just digital art. Like I said, that's the biggest question out there. Or it's definitely the biggest question that people can't seem to wrap their heads around, right? So we're gonna unpack, and I think the reason why people don't understand that is because they're trying to define NFT. As you know, NFT is not really defined. You've got the technical perspective, but when you think NFTs, you think Dapper Dinos, you think VFriends, you think, I think Psychedelics Anonymous, you think Degen Tunes, you think particular projects that have NFTs, that are built off NFTs. That allows you to understand it better. But when people don't know any of that, they just go, I just don't know what an NFT is. I don't know, I don't get it, right? So they're just digital images is probably the biggest excuse that people use. They go, there's no value to it, I can't touch it, it doesn't make sense. But what makes a Rolex valuable? It tells the time. Sure, you can touch it, but it tells the time, right? What makes a rare Charizard that I showed you before worth $500,000? It's a piece of cardboard. What makes a Lamborghini worth 500 times more than a Toyota Corolla? They both get you from A to B. Why does Nike sell more shoes than Reebok? $780 million a year. Oh no, 780 million pairs of shoes versus 370 million pairs of shoes. Why would someone spend millions on one piece of art while another piece of art can't leave the shelf for $50? Right, so you see these artists sell their arts in the biggest galleries in the world. They're selling for tens, hundreds of millions of dollars, and you walk into Kmart and there's a $20 piece of art there. It's like, what's the difference? What's the difference there? Does anyone want to take a guess? I've said it, and it's one simple thing. I don't know what this next slide's going to be. Pardon?
The flex.
Definitely one of them. Look, I mean, the answer, what they buy helps them increase these 5 things. Now, I don't know if is anyone familiar with Maslow's hierarchy?
Yeah.
Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Very similar to this. So, and I got this off Maslow's hierarchy. So when we look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, once you have the basic things down pat, you then move on to the next thing that you need as a person. So once you've got your shelter, once you feel safe, once you're healthy, once you've got food, you move up the ladder to the next thing that we need to thrive as individuals. And probably one of the biggest ones when we look at Rolex, when we look at Lamborghinis, I mean, when we look at Nike, when we look at big clothing brands, when we look at art, it's like, what are people going to think of me when I have that? What can I prove by having a yellow Lamborghini, a red Ferrari? And I want to make it very clear here that I'm not talking down on that at all. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm explaining why people do it. Why people go and spend exuberant amounts of money on things that for other people don't make sense. It makes sense for them, but it doesn't make sense for other people. Just like NFTs make sense to you guys, but they don't make sense to other people. So whatever someone buys, it has to give them something. They have to be either moving towards something that they want or moving away from something that they don't want. So if I know that water is going to make me feel good, well, give me water. If I know that a Lamborghini is going to get me the girl that I want, well, get me the Lamborghini, right? If it's going to give you something that you think you need, you'll pay for it. It's just a matter of how much you'll pay. So if you're dying, I know this is a little bit extreme, but if you're dying, what would you be willing to pay to be healthy? If you had $1 million in the bank and there was a magic pill, you were literally on your deathbed, and someone came up to you, they go, I got this pill, it's going to make you healthy. How much are you willing to pay for it? How much would you guys pay for it?
All of it.
$1 million, right? If you had $20, you'd pay $20 because that's all you got. But you'd pay everything. You'd pay whatever it took. Whatever you had in the bank account, you would pay it because you're on your deathbed. Money doesn't matter at this point. Money's just as bad as pebbles for you at this point. It doesn't matter. So it's like, cool, I can get this magic pill and it's just going to cost me $1 million. Easy. If you thought that buying an expensive car would cure your need for acceptance and love, what would you be willing to pay for it? If you were feeling really lonely, if you were just like, I got nothing, like no one likes me, I have no friends, I've lost everything, but I have $1 million in the bank account. What would you be willing to spend to gain that acceptance and love? Whether it's through a car, whether it's through a house, whether it's through whatever it might be, what would you be willing to spend?
Yep, you pay all of it.
Same answer. Fucking all of it. Right? And now you're happy. If you knew that you could give someone $1 and they'd give you $2 in return, how much would you give them?
$1 million.
Whatever you got. Whatever, you go to the bank, you get loans out, you ask everyone you know, give me all your money, because you know you're going to double your money. It's like, it's an absolute no-brainer. There's no limit to that. So, NFTs are a new opportunity for a new or existing brand to build a lot of value for everyone who holds their NFTs. So the keyword I was looking for before when I was talking about that keyword of why Lamborghini's massive, why Nike's massive, why Facebook's massive, why Pokemon's massive, it's brand. They've built a story, they've built a set of values, and they have a vision, and they have a brand identity that resonates with people that make them feel a certain way. So by me wearing Nikes versus Kmart volleys, which were in fashion for a while there, not so much anymore, or a torn up pair of no brand sneakers, Nike makes me feel much better. It makes me feel fitter, it makes me feel cooler, it makes me feel more socially accepted, it makes me feel wealthier versus wearing another pair of shoes that still gets me from where I am to where I want to be, but they give me a feeling. A Lamborghini probably makes me feel good too. Got no real desire to get one, but it'd probably feel pretty good. I'd prefer a Tesla. A piece of art that resonates, or a brand new blue Pokemon pack that reminds me of when I was 5 years old and takes me back to an event that I had that was really happy for me, well, I'd be willing to pay a lot of money for that. If it was the exact same one, I'd pay a lot of money for that. And so it's individualized value, it's perceived value, it's made up. It's what someone's willing to pay. And so what makes NFTs valuable? Well, we kind of do. The buyers, the sellers, the market. The market essentially decides. If Gary Vee decided to bring out VeeFriends and it was a massive success, but for whatever reason no one was willing to pay more than $100 for it, well then it would stay at $100. But for whatever reason, they shot up because everyone thought they were going to explode through the roof, and then eventually they dive bomb back down. That's an emotional market. It's people deciding what they think they're worth. So, like I said, NFTs are a new opportunity for a new or existing brand to build a lot of value for everyone who holds their NFTs. NFTs can reward you financially, NFTs can increase your self-esteem and social status, as we've seen with Bored Ape Yacht Club. If anyone's not familiar with Bored Ape Yacht Club, highly recommend checking it out. They can make you feel a part of something. Community is massive in the NFT world. And although they can't keep you safe or make you healthier, they just might eventually. And funnily enough, I wrote that out, and then 5 minutes later I was writing out another slide to this. And there's a project I'm going to mention which is focusing on building an entire mental health support network, support system inside of Web 3.0. So that kind of ticks that one off the list, because by holding an NFT you get access to this mental health support, which is really, really cool. And I just see that as the beginning. And the other thing too is a lot of these NFT projects are supporting charities. So I mean, you've got that as well. You've got endless possibilities within this space. So not only do they make you feel a certain way, and this is why when I speak about investing, I speak about you've got to love the art. If you plan on holding this, if you plan on making money from this, if you plan on staying and getting a part of this project, if the art doesn't resonate with you, then you're going to have a really hard time not getting emotional. Because you're going to be like, I just want to sell, I just want to make money. And then it goes down for a bit and a lot of people will just sell for a loss. And you go, well, that was a stupid move. But you live and you learn. So if art resonates with you, then there's emotion attached to that. There's feeling attached to that. And that's invaluable. That's invaluable. If for whatever reason someone created an NFT project that it was 10,000 blank NFTs, and you could place a photo of someone who meant the absolute world to you and it got turned into an NFT and all these things and blah, 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 that is invaluable to you. Probably worth nothing to anyone else, but it's invaluable to you. You wouldn't sell it. You wouldn't sell it. So sometimes there's things that we just would never sell, and they're absolutely priceless, and then sometimes there are. But to add to that value, NFTs can also be an access pass. They can be an access pass to events, both in real life and virtual. And what I mean by virtual is metaverse, Discord online, anything online. It might be a Zoom. It might be a Zoom meeting that you must have a certain NFT to access that Zoom. So that's a virtual, but also in real events. And we're going to start seeing that NFT New York City is in June, I think. And in the next couple of years, you're going to see massive in real events happen, because a lot of these projects are dealing with millions of dollars, so they have the money to spend. And when you're competing for attention, and you've got a platform to do that, like in something like NFT New York City, you're going to want to stand out. So you're going to see some pretty innovative stuff when it comes to in real life events. Hopefully Vicky jumps back in because I think she cut out. Sweet, physical and virtual, there she is. Physical and virtual products. I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen, I mean, I know Vicky Dapper Dinos, they had merch. You could claim merch. I think you actually had to pay for it. But a lot of NFT projects, they'll give you merchandise. They'll give you products. I got this one NFT on the Solana network, and it was the project was actually created by a. Hang on, I'm just going to mute everyone here. It was created by like a CBD company. And what they did was they created these sample packs of their products. They were based over in the US. But they had sample packs that everyone who had the NFT, they were sending them out to. And they had edibles, they had CBD gummies, they were like CBD, like rollies, kind of like a joint, but I think non-THC, all these different health benefits for them. And they sent out these sample packs. Because I'm in Australia, there was only one pack I could get, and it took me ages to get it, so I just gave up. But that's innovation. They'd built this CBD company. Now they're like, okay, we'll get into the NFT world and we'll build an entire shop on the Web3 and educate people on CBD and psychedelics and all this kind of stuff. And that resonates highly with me. So I was like, I'm all in on that. So I've got a few of those, and that's really cool. What was that last point? Essentially, an NFT is a ticket to whatever they decide. If I know Gary Vee's been tossing up buying an island to give people who hold his NFTs access to that island, why not? I might buy a Lamborghini and I'll sell 5 NFTs, and those 5 NFTs will be a ticket to spending a day out on a racetrack with the Lamborghini. Why not? I might decide to buy a hotel and I'll sell 10,000 NFTs, and one NFT is a fraction of the ownership of that hotel. So if that hotel I buy for $1 million and I sell 1 million NFTs, then you own 1/1,000,000th of that hotel. Now, if that hotel is a successful hotel and everyone shares in the revenue, well, you've got passive income coming in. If I sell the hotel and I sell it for $100 million, well then everyone gets whatever 1/1,000,000th of $100 million is. So there's endless possibilities, and the exciting thing is we haven't even scratched the surface of where it's all going. So here's some examples of utility. VFriends, been speaking about it. From the left, free VCon event tickets for 3 years. So VCon is a massive conference that Gary Vee's putting on over in the States. You must hold a VFriend to get access, or you must hold a VCon ticket. So the tickets themselves are NFTs. So just by holding a VFriend Series 1, you immediately get 3 free NFTs in the form of VCon tickets. Now these tickets were going for like 2 ETH at one point. So just by literally holding a VFriend, which are expensive, but just by holding one, you get a 2 Ethereum free NFT, which is pretty cool. If you sold it, great. They're pretty cheap now, 0.6. But yeah, you get 3 of those. Probably going to be one of the biggest conferences in the world for NFTs. I'd love to go in one of the years, but I'm excited to see it take shape. Each character has its own IP and is being built as a global brand. So like I was talking about before a little bit with Disney, building out your Disney characters, and there's hundreds of them. Some are much more popular than others. Frozen, Elsa. Elsa's probably one of the largest grossing characters, one of the biggest revenue streams for Disney. So not all the VFriends are going to be like Elsa, or like Superman for Marvel, or like whatever, the biggest character, or like Yoda from Star Wars. Like, they're not all going to be like that. You are going to have characters that aren't as big, but there is IP and brands, mini brands for each of these characters within the entire ecosystem. And like I said, that's a 40 to 70 year play for Gary Vee. It's going to take time, but he's going to be doing TV shows. He's going to be doing he's got trading card games, but he's going to be doing collectibles of all different shapes and sizes. He's going to be building real characters, which is super exciting. Free apparel, another product. Free version 2 of the original NFT. When they launched, they were trading at $6,000 each. Again, you get that for free. And you got certain NFTs give you level of access to Gary Vee. So if you bought the higher priced ones when they first came out, there's certain access tokens, which are things like watch a basketball game with Gary, play ice hockey with him, play games, Zoom meetings, all the things. He's just like, sweet, people want my time, I'll just give them access to it in the form of an NFT. Now, the second example is one that I'm really excited about, Psychedelics Anonymous. This is the brand that is bringing mental health into the Web 3.0 space. And from what I know, not much has been revealed, but essentially what they're planning on doing is not just opening up a Discord where you've got psychologists. Like, it's not a simple thing. I don't know how it looks, but I know that it's going to be something that's going to be very game changing and really beneficial for people, because like we were speaking about before we started, like, you've got a lot of the guys in this NFT space going down absolute rabbit holes, and their mental health is shooting down into the basement. So I think now more than ever we need those mental health support services. So from the left, holders earn a native token which can be spent in their ecosystem. Similar to what Bored Ape Yacht Club have done with their Ape coin, they released a coin that can be used to buy and sell items and whatever they decide to bring out within the Bored Ape Yacht Club ecosystem. This will be the same kind of deal. And if you get if you're earning these just by holding these NFTs, and then all of a sudden the native token is worth a lot of money, well, you got free money sitting there. You got free NFT airdrops, that happens with a lot of projects, free product, apparel, books, prints, access to mental health services, and in real event access. So you can see no longer is this just a digital piece of art with no value. So what are you actually buying? Like, you're buying the art, you're buying the contract, you're buying the certificate, you're buying this and that. But more importantly, you're buying into a brand. And you're buying into a brand that can offer its holders unlimited amount of utility and value. It's up to them to decide what they do. So, and the reason, and I think this is on the next slide, the reason they want to do that, I might skip forward, no. The reason they do that is because for them to continually make money, and here comes the question, well, they've sold their NFTs, they've sold out, cool, like how are they going to make money now? Well, they make royalties of every sale. So NFT sells for $1,000, generally they'll get a 6 to 8% royalty. So $1,000, they'll make $60 for that. If they sell for $1 million, well, they make 6 to 8% of that. If that's continually happening, if a project's hyped up and the price is increasing and the volume's increasing and they're being bought and sold over and over and over again, well, this project's just going sweet. We just got money rolling through the door. So what else can we do to incentivize these people to continually buy, continually sell, continually hold, and continually raise the price? That's the game. That's the game to build a successful brand in the space. There's a lot of variables to that. You've got to manage some pretty unrealistic expectations, and that's why we're seeing a lot of projects fail, is because they step in all excited into the space, like, yeah, we got a project, and then everyone's like literally just abusing them if they haven't spoken in 5 minutes, and they go, fuck this, I'm out, like this is not good, and then they just leave. Or you get actual scammers who decide to rug you and actually just always intended on doing that. But that's why you're going to see a lot of volatility. You are going to see projects fail. But like I said, it's up to the project, it's up to the brand to decide what they build. Again, if you could go back and invest in Facebook in the early days, in Tesla, in Pokemon cards, in whatever it was, this is that opportunity now. Unfortunately, it's not like we can sit here and go, it's going to be that one and that one and that one and that one and that one. No, there's going to be some serious shit go down in the next year or so. It's going to seem like it's potentially over, but out of the rubble will come the Facebooks, the Amazons, the Teslas, the Googles. They'll appear out of the rubble. We've just got to try and find those as quick as we possibly can, because that's what's going to give us the wealth that we're looking for. Because ultimately, we're here to build wealth. We're here to have fun. We're here, I'm investing in stuff that I'm just like, you know what, I don't even care about the price of this, I just love it. Like, so there are more elements to it, but definitely we bought in originally because there's crap tons of money that's able to be made in this space. So a project that has a long-term vision with a great team, very important, a great business model, and a real understanding of where Web3 is going will birth a project that can create generational wealth for its early adopters. That's it, plain and simple. The problem, like we spoke about, there's a lot of bad NFT projects out there. They're being dropped daily. It's you don't know what to pick. You don't know what's going to work. You might think something's going to pump and then it doesn't. I've seen that very, very often. I've seen it a lot lately as well. And then you get your ones like, I was whitelisted for Degen Tunes Jordan, and I didn't buy because they actually did really shit at the start. they took a while. They were slow. I came back like 3 days later. They were like an ETH. I'm like, damn it! I'm pretty sure I could have bought like 4 of them or something with the while, two to 4 of them, and I was like, missed opportunity because I took my finger off the pulse. But I've also seen that happen before. I've actually been on the other side where I've invested into a project that looks like it's going to fail, and then all of a sudden it just takes off and you're like, sweet, I'm out. But the opportunity is there are a few projects that currently exist and that are yet to exist, that will be the biggest brands in the world. And they will completely shape the way NFTs are moving forward. And you're going to see it across all different industries. It's not just going to be like cool 2D art. It's not just going to be what we're seeing now. We're going to see it in so many different industries. Some are going to be more lucrative than others. I think the space that we're currently in is probably going to be the most lucrative. But you're going to see NFTs be used everywhere. And like I said, it is just the beginning. Many are going to fail, but this is where the opportunity lies, is to be patient, hold on, and pick your moves, because it could only just take that one opportunity. It could be Degen Tunes, it could be Not Your Bro, it could be Dapper Dinos, it could be Expansion Punks, it could be whatever else you guys have got. Like, it could be VFriends, Book Games, it could be any of these. But there'll be opportunities that come up where you're like, yeah, that's the one. And if you're in between that time, if you're going, oh, I'll get this one, because I've got an ETH to spend, which I do very, very badly, then when that opportunity comes, yes, Jordan, when that opportunity comes, you go, fuck, I'm out of ETH. Just like what you're going through, Vicky. Like, always. So now I'm sitting here going, crap, where am I gonna, and look, you can put your paycheck in it, but I'm overdoing that. So look, best ways to invest moving forward: find projects and NFT projects that resonate with you. Don't fall into emotional investing, i.e. buying the next big thing. And take your time and learn before making next best steps, which is stuff that we all cover in the course. And I'll skip through it because I can chat to you, Reese, about this. This is just the Ultimate NFT platform, which I've just recorded 2 new videos. Actually, really excited about them. One is on modeling. It's on modeling the key players in the game, and it's something that actually Adam has opened my eyes to. Is how important being just surrounded by the right people are. And I've always said that it's a game of timing. This space is a game of timing. You could be sitting there for 24 hours straight. As soon as you close your eyes, a tweet goes out, the next big thing comes out, everyone gets it except you, and you go, well, I was just awake for 24 hours straight and I missed out. Like, it happens. It happens. It literally, you can be in a Discord when something gets posted and there's a 5-minute window, and you see it a lot. You see real tight timers for things that come through Twitter and Discords, and you go, crap, I missed by 15 seconds. It happens. And so that's really important, being able to model the right people. So I'll be pushing that out in the next couple of days. I'm really excited about that, because I've also changed the roadmap up a little bit for the platform. When I decide to market this platform a lot better, and when I start funneling a lot more people in, which I'm just starting to get the hang of now, is I'm going to use the revenue to buy Alpha Pass NFTs. And there's a big one that I've got in my mind. It's about a 1 ETH at the moment. And that gives you all of this incredible alpha. And so then what I'm going to do is just post all that alpha into our group. So I'm going to you guys invested $200. The price now is $400. I'm going to be buying a $5,000 NFT and giving you guys access to all of that information. So even that in itself, I'm really, really excited about. And hopefully I can do that with multiple NFTs as well. So the more people I can bring into this space, the more I can reinvest into the community, into you guys, and we'll all win. But like we said, there's risks. There's always risks. It's not just, oh, I posted it from here, so this is a must buy. But I'm looking at some NFT projects that these guys have, and they're very successful. So I'm pretty keen for that.